Hello there, my thrifting buddies. This is Brenda. Brenda's Thrifty Decor and DIY. Welcome back to my channel, and a mighty big thank you to all of my new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this journey. Hey, as I promised on my last video, that I am going to come back with Brenda's cooking show. No, it's not really a cooking show, but I do cook from time to time. What I want to showcase today is see all of this is all of my cast iron collection that I am so very proud of. And every last piece of cast iron, except for maybe one thing, I was able to purchase it from a flea market. I had gotten a couple of pieces from like a yard sale, but most of it was from this gentleman that had a shop in this outdoor flea market, and that was his biggest seller was cast iron pieces. Some of the pieces are very old. Let me say this also. When I first got a lot of the pieces, they were jacked up, rusty, dirty, old, but one of my friends taught me how to cure cast iron and bring them back to life. And I did just that, and now my pieces are absolutely beautiful. What I want to do right now is just take you around this table and just show you some of the pieces close up. And I want you to stay tuned, please, until the end of the video, because one of the pots I'm going to be doing a chicken soup, my homemade chicken soup. And then one of the skillets, I'm going to be doing some homemade Mexican / jalapeno cornbread. So don't go anywhere. Please stay with me, because I promise that this is going to be a very exciting video on today. So let me just take you around the table and show you the pieces. These are all the cast iron pieces that I own, and I use them. Most of them I use quite a bit, because now when I have to fry something, if I have to bake something in the oven, I'm generally going to go to my cast iron. I stopped using the coated pots and pans a while ago. I may own one or two pieces, but for the most part, I'm only going to be using stainless steel or my cast iron to cook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is get my soup started. And then once my soup gets started, then I'll start mixing my cornbread. So go with me step by step as I show you how I make my homemade chicken soup. The first thing that I want to do is share with you my ingredients for my soup. Now, I'm going to confess this up front, because I know that some of you ladies that are chefs in the kitchen, you might give me a little bit of pushback. But usually when I do my soups, I have no problems with using canned vegetables. I was looking at a cooking show recently, and the lady was saying that either use frozen or fresh. I decided that I'm going to do what I typically do and just use my canned vegetables. I do have some fresh, but I have some canned. Like I said, it's going to be a chicken soup, so I have my chicken legs right here. And I have some fresh carrots. I'm going to add potatoes to it. I do have frozen okra. I have a bell pepper. And over here I have an onion. So I have canned kidney beans. I have another can of kidney beans. I may use both of them or one. We'll see. And I have stewed tomatoes. I pulled out 2 cans. Like I said, I may use both and I may not. I'm not sure. And I have some cut green beans and some whole corn. I also have some green onions and just another extra onion over here. The first thing that I am going to do before I get started is, remove this out of your way, is whenever you have cast iron that sits for a while, because I don't use this all the time, I like to give it a fresh wash just initially before I use it. Like the inside, and that's just to, you know, just because it's been sitting for a while. So I am going to go ahead first of all and get my chicken legs boiling. So the first thing I washed them before, but I'm going to wash them again, and I'm just going to rinse them up real good. And usually when I do make my soup, I usually just use chicken legs. And I leave the skin on because we want the flavor that comes from the skin. So I'm gonna just put these over. A little gooseneck thing here, I don't wanna stay in one place. I'm just gonna put some water over it. And I usually put the amount of water in it that I want, because I don't want all of the water to boil out, because the water is going to be my base for my soup. Because basically what I'm doing now is boiling the chicken to get my chicken stock, and that's what I will begin to add my vegetables to. So I want to make sure I put enough water in there to where it won't boil down and evaporate. So this is about, if you can see that, about the amount of water that I have in it. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the stove. And I'm just going to let that, I'm going to, because I want it to have flavor, the stock, so I'm going to add some, for now I'm going to add some seasoning salt. Generous with it. And I'm also going to add some black pepper. Wrong one. Okay. So I got the seasoning salt in there. I'm going to get one more seasoning that I want to add to it. I wanted to do some bouillon cubes, and I went to the grocery store and I forgot to pick some up. So, but I'm pretty good at flavoring things up, so it shouldn't be a problem. But I'm going to add some, I'm going to do some fresh onions, but right now I'm just going to do some onion salt in it. And I'm going to add a little bit more of this Sazon Tropical, it says. And I'm going to put some Italian seasoning. Just stir this around. And just to also boost the flavor of the stock, I'm just going to stick some margarine in it to help flavor it up. And I think that should be a good start. get that to cooking. Put my top on it and let it start cooking. I'm going to go ahead and start getting my vegetables chopped up. And the first thing that I'm going to start with is my bell pepper. My vegetables chopped up, I'm going to go ahead and check on my chicken. It's boiling up. So I'm going to just sprinkle, this is just some Worcestershire sauce. Just going to sprinkle a few drops in there. Again, just for some flavor. Okay, these are coming along well. All right, got my potatoes and my vegetables cut up. I'm going to set these to the side for now. Oh, and by the way, the potatoes will actually go in last because, you know, potatoes can cook fast. And I don't want them to be all mushied up. I want them to have some texture to them. I'm going to put my okra back in the freezer. My carrots here. I'm going to chop up a few carrots because I don't want them to be this big. And I'm actually going to throw them in the same pot with my vegetables. I'm just going to cut them in half. Okay, so I have my carrots with my other vegetables. I'm going to set that to the side again. And the next thing that I'm going to do, clean up some of my mess here. I'm going to actually start now opening up my canned goods that I know some of you are probably fussing at me about. But don't fuss at me too much. I can be lazy. Well, I don't know if it's lazy. I don't know if it really matters because my soups still always turn out pretty good, even with the canned vegetables. So let me just grab the vegetables real quick and I'll get those. I mean my canned goods. Wash the top off of them. So for now, I'm only going to open, it's my canned good, I'm only going to open one can of the beans and one can of the, I'm more than likely, because I love tomatoes in my soup, So I'm probably going to use both cans of tomatoes, but I'm going to just start out opening up one for now. So let's get that. Okay, my cans are open and they are ready. But what I am going to do is I'm going to drain part of the, not the whole can of water off, but I'm going to, because I don't want all this water from the corn and the green beans. So I'm going to just drain some of it off. And so right now it's just a matter of waiting for my chicken to cook. And then I actually just start tossing in my vegetables, all except for the potatoes, which I'm going to do last. For anyone that is new to my channel, I just want to clarify something. This is not a cooking channel. I am not an organized cook. I don't, I'm not, I wish that when I do this that I could be as professional as some of the chefs, but I'm not a chef. So, but I just believe in just giving you all what I have, and just believe in just being transparent. That's all I can be, and I hope that you enjoy it. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and pull out my ingredients for my cornbread, and I will show you all what goes into the cornbread. Hey, my thrifting buddies. See, I told you all that I am not a professional chef at all. I was getting my ingredients together for my cornbread, my Mexican cornbread, when I realized I didn't have the two main ingredients, and that was milk and cornmeal. So I literally had to run to the store, which I'm glad we have a neighborhood store, and grab a couple more items. So I got the milk, I got the cornmeal, and I went ahead and picked up some chicken bouillon cubes for my soup stock. And I think that was it. I think those were the only three things that I had to get. See, that's what you get from trying to play a professional when you're not. So what I'm going to do is right now, and I am going to pull this just a little bit closer because I'm going to check to see how tender my chicken has gotten. Oh, it's almost there, y'all. Yeah, it's coming along. I'm going to start tossing in some of my ingredients that's going to take longer to cook, and that's going to be my carrots. I love carrots, so I'm putting in lots of them. I'm going to let that cook for, I'm going to let this cook for maybe about 10 minutes before I start putting in my canned good ingredients. Let that kind of come back to a boil. Okay. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and show you the ingredients that's going to go into my cornbread. 2 cups of cornmeal, 1 cup of whole kernel sweet corn, 1 cup of cream style corn. I have 1.5 cups of shredded cheese, 1 egg, And I'm gonna, oh, and I will do one and, I made a mistake and got 2% milk, but it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. I'm gonna have to do 1 1/4 cups of milk. I'm gonna do something different that I have not done before. I'm going to put some green and red bell pepper, but before I put it in the mixture, I'm gonna saute them just a little bit to soften them some. And that's gonna be a little different. Then of course, the main thing is my jalapenos. And generally I do jalapenos to taste. For my jalapeno cornbread, I indicated that I'm going to be adding some red peppers and green. Not a whole lot because I don't want it to overpower the taste of the cornbread. I'm not going to do all of the red. And, you know, green bell pepper can kind of overpower the taste. So I'm just going to do a few. And like I said, I'm just going to saute them just lightly, not a lot. And the reason that I'm sauteing them so that way when the cornbread bakes, I want the bell pepper to be, I don't want them to be crunchy inside the cornbread, and I don't know how much they will actually cook while they're, you know, while they're baking. I mean, while the cornbread is baking. Okay. I think that's all that I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and drain those off. Put them in a little, put them in a bowl for the time being. I'm going to use the remaining of the oil to go inside my cornbread when I mix it. And that is my sauteed peppers. So my soup is pretty much ready to add my canned vegetables. I'm just cleaning up a little bit here. You know, y'all, I don't like messes, so. Get my spoon. I think I'm going to use one of my big spoons here. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'm going to start by adding, I'm going to add my corn. My green beans. Had some corn left over from, go ahead and put in my stewed tomatoes. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do the 1 can of tomatoes. Probably could have chopped them up a little bit before I put them in here, but it's all good. This already looks so yummy. I'm gonna put my beans in here, but I'm gonna drain them first because I don't want all that bean juice. Beans. Ooh, the pot is already full. I was using a bigger pot because I thought the smaller pot wasn't going to be big enough, but it's good. Can you see that? I'll give it a little taste. So I think that's, I don't need any of the extra cans, so I can put those away. I'm gonna go ahead and add some of my, since I have some peppers, oh, that's my sauteed peppers. I'm gonna just add a few of these peppers in there, since I have them left over. I throw it in the kitchen sink. Ooh, that looks yummy. So that's my oven. I just preheated it to 400 for my cornbread. And so once these I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit. And then I'm add my potatoes, and then I'm gonna add the frozen okra. Yeah, I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes before I add the okra, but the potatoes are gonna actually go in at the very last. Okay, but here's what I want to do though. I'm noticing that I need some more black pepper. And I'm going to add just a little bit of, just a tad bit of salt. I don't want to overdo it, but it does need just a little bit. And I'll do that like that to taste, because something about this sea salt, man, if you go overboard, it's just be too much. Okay. So let me get that stirred up. And something else that I like to do to kind of spice things up is I always like to do a drop or two of hot sauce. Just to kind of spice things up a little bit. My granddaughter is not going to eat it, so if I put the hot sauce in it, that's fine. She's such a picky eater. I'm going to turn this back up some so I can get to come into a boil. Then I'll turn it back down. It's my chicken in. Isn't that pretty? So like I said, I'm going to let that cook for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Then I put in my okra, and then I'll throw in the potatoes and let those cook for about maybe, 10 minutes or so. Then I'm going to let it simmer for a little bit. But right now, let's get started on this cornbread. So I'm going to go ahead and start chopping up my jalapenos. And like I said, I don't really measure those out per se, because I like lots of, use another cutting board. I like lots of jalapenos, so I just kind of do it to taste. Have my mixing bowl. The first thing that I'm going to do is crack my egg. Going to scramble my egg. There's one scrambled egg. I'm going to add my 2 cups of meal. And we're just dumping in the ingredients. My corn, cream corn. There's 1 cup of cream corn. 1 cup of whole sweet corn. My cheese. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my jalapenos. Like I said, you can chop those to taste, however you want to do it. I'm going to add my sauteed peppers. Then I need to do was 1 and oops, I put my cup in there. I need my milk. It's 1 cup. Then it calls for 1 1/4. Okay. And sometimes, depending on the consistency, I may add just a little bit more milk. So I'm just going to leave that milk. I'm going to leave my milk out. And cups put away. And also, I think what I'm going to do is veer away from my typical and just sprinkle in just a little bit of mozzarella. Just a little mozzarella cheese as well. Okay. Put all that to the side. Then I need to, I took, here it is over here. I'm going to do about, this is 1 cup, this is my oil. I'm going to actually do about a little bit more. This is 1/4 cup. I'm just going to do about half more of that. Oil. Okay. Get my mixing. Pull you in so you can see. I have my skillet here, and I put some oil in it, and I'm just going to get a paper towel, just rub it around. I know sometimes some people do it with their hands, but I don't like getting oil all over my hands. So I have my oiled pan. My stove is preheated to 400. And I'm going to go ahead and pour in my batter and hope and pray that this skillet is going to be big enough. I think it is. Yeah, perfectly. Now I'm going to put it in my preheated oven. And let it do its thing. So that is my jalapeno cornbread in the oven. I hope that you were able to capture those ingredients. If you are interested, some of you may have made it before yourself. You may do it a little differently, but that is my recipe. Like I said, I ad-libbed on a couple of things. So right now, while the cornbread is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and toss in my okra into my soup and let that kind of cook for about maybe 10 minutes, and then I throw in the potato. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm only going to do about half of the bag of the okra, not the whole thing. So let me just kind of, yeah, I think half would be plenty. The chicken is beginning to fall off the bone. And I think what I'm going to also do, because while the okra is cooking, it can cook at the same time as the potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump the potatoes over in here also. Give it a little taste test. Still missing a little something. I think I need to put a little bit more dash of salt in it. Actually, I'm going to add just a little bit more of the seasoning salt. Okay, so I'm going to let that simmer down for a little bit. Okay, I hope that you all are enjoying this with me. Please stay with me until the end so you can see my cornbread when it gets done, and that you can also get the last view of my beautiful chicken soup. So while the soup is simmering for a little bit and I'm waiting for the cornbread to get done, I'm gonna go ahead and get my kitchen cleaned up, put some dishes in the dishwasher and get that going. And by the time I finish that, then hopefully the cornbread should not take that long. So just stick with me, and please don't go anywhere, okay? Thank you all so much for staying with me on this cooking journey in my thrifted cast iron pieces. Gonna go ahead and take the cornbread out of the oven so it can begin to cool down. Like I said, when you're dealing with this cast iron, you have to be very, very careful. It's extremely hot. Oven off. Well, okay, my thrifting buddies, this is my homemade chicken soup with all of my good old vegetables, green beans, carrots, potatoes, okra, onions and bell pepper. I think that's, and tomatoes, stewed tomatoes. Yes, that looks so delicious. Then accompanied by my beautiful, beautiful Mexican / jalapeno cornbread. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Cooked up in my thrifted cast iron skillet and my cast iron soup pot. I am loving it. Well, y'all, that was Brenda cooking in the kitchen. I have finished cooking, gotten my kitchen back in order, cleaned off my countertops. I got the dishwasher going, cleaned up everything, got my soup pot, my cornbread. That's why I like to clean as I go. It makes it so much easier when you're done. Well, okay, you all, with that pretty much wraps up this video for today. I am so glad that you joined me, and for all of those that stayed until the end, I hope that you thought that my soup and my cornbread look absolutely delicious. If you do, let me know down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video today, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for always joining me and always supporting me. I love you all so much. Brenda in the kitchen, homemade chicken soup and jalapeno cornbread. I cannot wait to get into it. Thank you all so much. I love you all. Bye-bye till the next time.